On today's video, we are going to be starting the first of a four-part series talking about travel agent professional secrets for booking the best flights. So many things we're going to be covering, and it all starts today. So you ready? Let's go. My name is Linda Jones. I am the CEO of Crafted Travel Company and the author of Travel Agent Secrets. I have been in the industry over 15 years, so this new video series, this new project is my passion for sharing all things travel, helping you know the best way to plan your travel so that you can do it like the professionals do and have amazing vacations. This is the first of a four-part series. Today we're going to be talking about when, where, and how to book flights. And then in the upcoming videos, we are going to be talking about ways to save even more money, ways to get the most from your flights, how to maximize all of the benefits that you can get, all the amenities and things. And then we're also going to be covering general tips, important information to consider, things that you really need to look at to make sure that your vacation or that your travel, business travel, runs as smoothly as possible and that you get everything you can out of it. So, are you ready? Today, let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to be talking about when, where, and how to book flights. Let's go. Okay, so the first step that I always do when I am booking a flight is I go to a little program, a little app called Hopper. It's only available on your iPhone or your phone. It doesn't have to be iPhone. It'll let you know for the dates that you want to book, whether or not the flight looks like it is high for the time period, low for the time period, or if they predict that it will go up or down. And that helps you to make your decision whether or not you want to book a flight. So let's dive in and I'll show you how Hopper works. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to go from LAX in Los Angeles. We're going to fly, let's say we're going to fly to JFK. Let's just call it across country and let's see what we find. Now, the cool thing about this is it tells you the best dates. So as you can see here, May and June are totally red, which means that prices are very, very high for that time frame. Yellow means it's kind of middle. Green means it's good pricing. So if you're looking for the best time to fly, this is a really great visual representation to help you choose the right month. But if you're stuck, like if you have to fly in June, then you're gonna be stuck. But at least you know that going in, at least you know what the price ranges are. So for our purposes to compare, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this date here in July. We're going to choose, I'm just gonna say we're gonna leave Wednesday the 1st. We're going to return on Monday the 6th. This is what we're going to do across all the platforms so that we can compare. We select these dates. Now it's saying that the currently lowest price is $277. And it does say that you should book now. Usually if the prices are super inflated and they expect the price is going to drop, then they'll say wait. Sometimes they'll say it's the lowest and go ahead and book. Sometimes they'll say it's looking like it's going to go back up. Right now, I'm thinking 277 is the lowest. They're saying to book it now because they don't anticipate it going any further down. So this gives you a good idea of the general price range that you're looking at, as well as whether or not to predict if it's going to go up or down. This is how you guarantee that you're making the decision at the right time, because we all know that we get a little hesitant when we book flights. We're not sure if we're getting the best price. We're not sure if we want to keep waiting. These tools are what help you make that decision and help you make the best decision for you. So here's what I was talking about price prediction. So it says until May 31st, prices are going to vary probably over the next 2 weeks. Prices will likely rise in June and go even more up from the end of June to July, and then it's your departure. So you can see what the price is looking like and help make that decision whether or not you want to go now. Okay, so that's number one with Hopper. The second thing I look at is I look at the view flights. So now I know that the cheapest flight is around $277. This will tell me who has the cheapest flights. So it's looking like Alaska has a good flight. That's nonstop. You want to be able to check what your stops are and the total length of time. So that one looks like a good one. Delta looks like they're semi-low. Alaska, Delta. And American's a little bit higher. So it's looking like my best bets are going to be Alaska and perhaps, Delta, JetBlue, and American are about the same. Okay, so now I have that information. Now it's time to take that information and go to the next place. All right, so now we are looking at my next stop, which is Skyscanner. Skyscanner, you may have heard of. It's a great online travel agency that helps to book. It'll look at all of the flights across all of the different airlines, most all different airlines, give you an idea of what the lowest prices are. But it also has a few features that are really, really cool that I wanted to share with you. So let's go ahead and dive in. So we're going to stick with what we said before. We're going to go from LAX, Los Angeles, to JFK in New York. Now, this one, what you can say is you can either say, I just want the cheapest month, or I need to leave in June, July, whatever. In our case, we're saying we do have to go, and you could do a specific date. But if you have more flexibility in your flight plans, you can say cheapest month, and we'll talk about that in a minute. For our purposes, we're going to say specific date. We're going to pick our days, which was July 1st to Monday the 6th. And let's just say we're going to have, actually, I'm going to say one person so it doesn't complicate ticket prices for us, okay? All right, and then we're going to search. Okay, so let's say we just want to go with the greener and the cheaper choice. I'm going to say Alaska. And what this does is it tells me the flights, and then it says I have a choice of where to book the tickets on all of these different places. So what happens is when you are looking at these, and they're usually the lowest price. A lot of times on these online travel agencies, these booking sites, the lowest price means basic economy. So that means a lot of times you do not get a seat assignment, you do not get any baggage included. You basically get assigned when you're there, so you could end up in a middle seat, you could end up in between people, you don't know. So I just want you to keep that in mind when you're looking at cheapest price. A lot of times it's that basic, so it's going to be a little bit more if you're wanting to have a little bit higher class of service. So to that end, so we're back at Skyscanner, and I want to take you back and show you some of the other helpful tools that they have available on here. Excuse me. You can choose your number of stops. So if you don't care, notice how, well, actually 2 stops gets quite expensive, but oftentimes if you have 2 or more stops, it actually gets cheaper. 1 stop actually is a little bit more. It's just kind of a quirk. Sometimes nonstop is cheaper, sometimes more stops are cheaper, but that's why you like a system like this, so you can see them all compared and get an idea of where you're at with price. Now, if you only want flexible tickets, if you want to constrain, if you need to leave at a certain time, return at a certain time, you can do all of that here. If you have a specific membership to One World, SkyTeam, one of the other memberships, JetBlue, Southwest, you can consolidate the results to be just for that. Including if you have a credit card for a specific airline, you'll want to constrain it to that because you're going to get more perks with that. And then also whether or not you want to show the greener flights. So there's all sorts of tools that you can use when you're choosing your flight. You can sort it by best, which is an average of cheapest and shortest flight, or just cheapest, or just your fastest. Okay, so let's go ahead back to Skyscanner. I want to show you, before we move on to the next level, some of the other tools that they have. So as I was saying before, they have, if say you want to go to New York, but you don't know when, you just kind of want to go on the cheapest month. One of the cool things you could do is you come to whole month and say cheapest month, and then you can search. And what it'll do is give you an idea of price based on what it is. So September is looking like the best month if you're wanting to go to New York from LA, and then it gives you the days that you can find the cheapest flights. Another thing that you can do, if we go back, is you can say, okay, I want to take a vacation. I want to go in July, but I don't know where I want to go. I'm exploring. One of the cool features you can say is, if you can't decide, you say everywhere. And in this case, what we're going to do is go back to the whole month and just say, we want to go to July, anytime in July, and then we can search here. And what it'll do is it will bring up all the different options that you have to travel in July and where they're from. So look, some of the other tools that I think are very, very, very cool are the recommendations just based on where you search and what you're doing, and then be inspired. This one's really cool. So you say explore the map, and what you get, and let me zoom out here, is the whole world and say, for instance, I have it here going in August, but let's move it to July so that we can kind of keep it together. This will tell you basic prices for the entire world. So if you want to look at all sorts of places to go in the world in July, this is a great place to do it. But see how it's all red and green. So that says green is nonstop, red is one stop, but also you can change your price. So if you don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a flight, you can if you want, but say, you know what, I just want to fly. Let's see where I can go for about 300 bucks. So not too many out of a lot of places, but some South America you can get to. So let's look. Oops, too far. All right, so let's look. So if we wanted to go somewhere in July from LAX, look, we could get to Mexico City for 167. Mexico City is amazing. I highly recommend it. We could go across the country. We can go to New York. From $82, but again, that's probably one way. We can go up here to Canada. So this is a really, really cool tool if you know you have a vacation coming up in a certain month, but you're not sure where you want to go and you want to get inspired. Look, we could even go to Hawaii, which is awesome. I might be going to Hawaii too. Take advantage of the deals when you can. Okay, so that is Skyscanner. First, we went to Hopper to get a basic idea of pricing and whether or not prices look like they're going up or down, if they're low, if they're high, just to kind of wrap your head around it, and also to find out which airline is the best airline for you, or which ones are going to be having the cheapest flights, so you know where to go next. My second step is I go to Skyscanner and I get a more accurate indication of where the cheapest flights are. At this point, if Hopper recommends booking and you find a good price and a good schedule on Skyscanner, feel free to book it if you want. But as a professional, I actually take it a couple steps further. And that is what we're going to talk about next.
Okay, so we've gone to Hopper, we've gone to Skyscanner. There is a couple more places that I like to check just to make sure I'm getting the best price for myself or for my clients, and that is Google Flights. So let's go ahead and get over to Google Flights. So as we can see, Alaska is the cheapest. So we went to Hopper, we went to Skyscanner, and they both confirmed that Alaska is the cheapest. Now, this is why I like to look at a couple different places. I just want to confirm that the price is consistently there, that there's no cheaper price out there somewhere and I'm just missing it. If you go to a few of these very big companies, reputable companies, they are going to be pretty consistently the same across the board. So you can feel confident that you're getting the best deal. So in this case, again, Alaska, but what I want to do is what has been missing from the other two is a real indication whether we're talking about basic economy or regular economy. Here's exactly what I was looking for. And this is why I always go to Google Flights at least at some point when I'm booking flights. This tells you it's the saver fare. This is the basic fare. So this $277, even though Skyscanner didn't say it, or when we went over to Viama, it didn't say it, Hopper didn't say it, Google Flights is saying it. So this is how you can kind of confirm what you're getting into. So the $277 price means no seat selection. You're the last to board, no ticket changes. You can get your carry-on, but you still have to pay. So, but look, if we paid just $40 more, which I completely understand if that's not in your budget, and great, I'm glad they have Saver. But if you can afford it, I really recommend moving up at least to Maine, because look at what you get a little bit more with it. You get a seat selection, you get a regular seat, you get standard boarding, you get to actually board with everybody else. You can make ticket changes, and you still have to pay for baggage, but do you see the difference? It's, to me, worth it because I want to be a little bit more comfortable when I'm flying. My 20-year-old daughter, if she wants to fly to Europe, then great. She can go on the Saver because she's young and she doesn't have to worry about cramping up. She doesn't have to worry about cramping up on a 10-hour flight. So, okay, so this is what I wanted to show you with that. So you can make those decisions and then it'll take you on so that you can book. Okay, one other thing that Google, or maybe two other things that Google has, they're similar to Hopper in that they let you know, okay, for economy or for the class of service that you're looking, it is cheaper than usual. It is, the least expensive, it's high, it's low. So you can get an idea, okay, you know what? It is low. I do, in fact, need to travel in July. And Hopper told me that it was a good time to buy. Skyscanner, everything's pretty consistent. So I can feel reasonably certain that this price on Alaska is the best price I'm going to find for my dates, for where I'm going and where I'm leaving from. This can help you feel comfortable making that decision and jumping off at that point. Okay, so now that we've gone to Hopper, and these are just the ones that I use. Every travel agent kind of has their mix that they use, but they always check several places. Well, not all of them. I do, because I want to be confident that I have found the absolute best deal, that I'm buying when it's the right time to buy, where I can maximize the deal that I get and get the best that I can. So that's why I like to look at several. Some people just go to one. So this is a resource that what they do is they scour all of the available rates, and then they send you notifications. Like, for instance, if your home airport is Los Angeles, it'll say from LA, there's this great deal and this great deal. And then that way you know where to go to book it. They can find some extraordinary rates. So sometimes it's worth it, but it just depends on your travel lifestyle and whether or not you have the time to wait for a deal to happen to pop up. There's no guarantees. Okay. So what it does is they let you know, like, here's some of the deals that they have, found in certain ways. Paris, $200 round trip. Now I'm looking during coronavirus, so prices are a little lower than what they will be once this is over and we're traveling again. But one of the things I wanted to show you here is how it works. So when you go to sign up, they have a free program and they have a paid program. And as you can see here, the paid program the free program is only basic deals. So they'll give you occasional cheap flight alerts, but it's nothing like what you get when you have the premium membership, which means they give you a head start on some of the deals. They're vetted by humans, so it's not just weird clickbait type things. They find mistake fares, which means when there's a difference between what the airline posts and what it should be, sometimes there's a narrow window of opportunity where you can take advantage of that mistake fare, different peak season and so on and so forth. So as you can see, these, if you want to do the paid program, it's $49 a year after your free 14-day trial. Again, if you are the kind of person that loves to jump on any deal that comes up, or say, okay, I'm going to fly next July, I'm to take a vacation, you can sign up for something like this and just see what deals start popping up in July. And maybe that might help you hone in on where you want to go or find a really great deal. That's Scott's Cheap Flights. So another one that you hear a lot about is Airfare Watchdog. I want to just cover this one really briefly. Now, Airfare Watchdog, so Scott's Cheap Flights is just notifications. You don't actually book on their website. They just tell you where the cheap places are and where to book it. Airfare Watchdog is kind of a combination. You put in your home airport, and then they'll send you deals like some of the other places do. They'll send you, hey, right now, because I'm actually down in Orange County, not in LA. So my home airport is actually Orange County. So right now it's saying, from Orange County, I can go to San Jose for $85, and that's round trip. So now it's not just a one-way fare. So this is, again, like Scott's Cheap Flights, as far as being able to find, okay, I want to go somewhere this weekend. Here's some quick ways, some cheap places that we can go if we want to get away for the weekend. There's one more place that I recommend that you go, and that is the actual airline itself, because sometimes they have best fares. Sometimes they have best fares available on the actual website themselves, and they don't have it on a third party's website because they want you to book with them. They want the money directly, and they don't want to pay commissions to anybody else. So as we looked at Hopper, at Skyscanner, at Google Flights, Alaska was the top airline that we were looking at. So I'm going to go directly to Alaska, and I just want to do one more search just to make sure we are absolutely getting the best price for my JFK trips. All right. So as you can see, now this is each way. So the saver price is $129. When I come down here, and this is just warning you that it's that basic economy, the saver price, and the main, and how much more it would be. I'm just going to continue with the saver because we've already discussed this, but see how it's $129 one way, but see how I have different prices coming back, which will affect. So if I don't pick the right combination, my round trip flight now might be $129 plus the $227. I'm just going to pick this cheaper because it looks like the cheapest here, add it to my cart, and then we will see what the price is. So again, it's warning you that you're on the basic economy and that to upgrade it would be $40, which is the same as what we saw in Google Flights. So that matches. And then the total due here is $276. So as you can see, the price has been consistent over all of the platforms that we search. You're not going to find one place that's going to be drastically different than the others typically. Every once in a while you might find a glitch, but for the most part, that's why you can maybe pick 2 or 3 that you like and stick to those and be confident that you're actually getting the best price that is available at that moment. Now, all of this being said, where would I book? Where would I decide to book if out of all of those places? If they're all the same price, I'm going to book on the airline directly. Only because I feel like if it's directly through the airline, I don't have a third party possibly muddying up the reservation if there's a problem. If there's a problem and I bought it through, say that Viama, I think it was called, when we were looking on Skyscanner. If there was a problem, I'd have to go through Viama to be able to figure out how to fix the problem with Alaska. All things being equal, I would book it at the airline. That way, if there's a problem, I can go directly to the horse's mouth to get it fixed and take care of it. That's kind of how it is. If it's cheaper somewhere else, then you might want to go ahead and book it someplace else, but we will talk about that. So again, thank you so much for making it to the end. I know this was an incredibly long video. I hope you had some good information and that it helps you to book your next flight. Please, comment and let me know if you have questions. I would be happy to answer any questions that you have. Reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. And if you found this information helpful, please go ahead and click that subscribe button and you can get notifications when our new videos come out. We are going to start releasing videos on Mondays and Thursdays going forward. So this was part 1 of 4. Stay tuned for our next video. We are going to be talking about more ways that you can save money. So we just covered basics in this video, as long as it was. Next time, we're going to be talking about ways that you can really maximize your savings and get even more out of it. So stay tuned. And I hope to see you then. And in the meantime, happy travels and have a fantastic day.